Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, evening. Assalamu alaikum. Adnan again from Digital Pakistan on this weekly scheduled show for the next 15-20 minutes. And today we will talk about career in AI and machine learning. I know this is a very new topic, but still something cannot be ignored. उसको भूल नहीं सकते मतलब in a sense के ignore नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि because of the demand for the skills. So in the next few minutes, I will be talking about uh, uh, what you can do if you're planning for career and why should you consider आप इसमें क्यों जाएं. तो ये वीकली एपिसोड है. आज हम एक और एपिसोड में पार्ट ऑफ दैट सीरीज ऑफ 8 एपिसोड्स और आज हम इस टॉपिक पे बात करेंगे एंड डिजिटल पाकिस्तान पे भी ये डिफरेंट टॉपिक जो हॉट और टेक्नोलॉजीज इन डिमांड है जो कि स्पेशली फॉर दोज स्टूडेंट ग्रेजुएट हो रहे हैं उनको हेल्प करेगा और ऑल्सो टू द स्टूडेंट या जो कि प्रोफेशनल मार्केट में उनको हेल्प करेगा. सो देयर इज समथिंग फॉर एवरीवन. So, give you an idea about AI and machine learning, and then we'll talk about your career direction because usually I keep getting also based on this, like how do we start the career, what do we do, and all that stuff. Before we do that, and let me give you idea also why there's a demand for AI and machine learning and why this is something. Because if you look at cloud computing, I always talk about artificial intelligence is nothing new. We might have heard 20 years ago, we might have seen movies and all that stuff. But why it's happening? The reason is that is underlying infrastructure, and that underlying infrastructure जो है इसके नीचे cloud computing का है because of compute and CPU and GPU. Everything is available today. It was not possible for some company to build these things in their data center because उसके लिए बहुत सारी power चाहिए होती है. Or this is really not possible. It's not about compute power. Then you need a larger data center. Then you need more real estate, more buildings, more. So it's all along those lines. You have to connect the dots. But today, being the nature of cloud we have, regardless Microsoft, AWS, or Google, there's a pay-as-you-go model, and there's a lot of compute. So literally can go and rent uh, thousands vCPU in a matter of hour, 2 hour, depending how you design your architecture, and then you rent it, and then you can rent the storage. So all the stuff is going in the cloud. So the biggest cost is about the storage and this compute, and another top is the cost on top of that is analyze the data, which is the big data, which then go to the further direction of data analysts, data scientists, right? So you have to process the data. It's like an example I give you before long ago in the same show about when you go to the rig for extracting the gas or a petrol. That's a raw material, and then you refine, then it become a petrol which you can use in your car, right? तो वो रिग से जो मर्ड होता है उससे सब आप एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हो प्रोसेस के थ्रू. सो दैट्स एग्जांपल. सो यहाँ पे बिग डेटा की एग्जांपल आती है, एंड देन आल्सो ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट दैट्स अ क्लाउड मॉडल एक्सप्लेन करता है. But now how do we do with AI and machine learning? Because you have so much data, but data is useless. So what do I do with that? Then you need to make some prediction and analysis, and this is where we need AI and machine learning. Those AI and machine learning, when you're looking at different paths, you can go with the college degree or you can even go without college degree, and there are some areas, if you're in the industry you already know that huge demand in security, huge demand for in health and science and all these fields. So what are those basically? And also it's going to get more adoption after 5G. So Apple is going to launch their phone and other companies. So as soon as we have more adoption for 5G, it will grow exponentially. Why? Because the speed of that sim which is sending the data in the cloud is, I believe, is 100 mbps to 800 mbps theoretically. So imagine the speed we get at our home in the home wireless router is going to be in our cell phone. All right, so if you guys have any question in the meantime, usually I get from university college students, okay, how do we want to start, what programming languages and all that. So there are like, I put some information. One of them is that you can always start looking at any of the vendor, Microsoft, Google, and AWS. And if you go to their website, and once I get a chance after I put this video on the YouTube, I'll put the link. But these are the role-based certification also, and you can select a role for data scientist or the engineer role from the certification path, and then look at the prerequisites what you need. But again, before you do that, you got to make sure you have good skills in mathematics. You are good with financial modeling. You know, have very good understanding of playing around with Excel sheets. And then you need to have some programming concept. And Python seems to be pretty hard these days. And also इसके अलावा जो है आपको SQL पे काम आना चाहिए. और इसके अलावा Jupyter है, बहुत सारी languages है where you make this decision and modeling and all that. Even to make it more simpler, आप built-in AI model use कर सकते हो गूगल के, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट के, एनडब्ल्यूएस से. आप उसको प्रोग्रामिंग के थ्रू आप उसको कनेक्ट करें, बट आपको यू डोंट हैव टू in the beginning redefine and do it everything from the scratch. So there's another website where you can have step-by-step directions. They have some modules, so I will share that as well, where you can go and learn the basic steps. Uh, So if you were to ask me what are the basics job role or the popular job role, so there are job roles like machine learning engineers available. You go do some research on Indeed, you'll find the criteria. There's a robotic scientist. So these are the robotic scientists, and data scientists usually require you to have some college degree, some major in maths also. But again, you can learn the big data platform, which is available in any of these three major platform I told you, like Hadoop. You can learn Hive, Spark, MapReduce, and regardless of whichever cloud provider is that, they always offer that. So pick any, sign up for a subscription, free subscription, and dig into that and learn and use those predefined some AI model into those thing. And then you cannot go wrong with, as I told you before, Python. You should have a good knowledge of SQL scripting, SQL secret query language also, is Scala and Perl. So I don't know the details about Scala and Perl, but again, I've seen a lot about Python. And Python is going famous because they are coming up with more and more libraries basically. इसलिए ये बूम कर रही है. Python exist करती है मेरे ख्याल से 20 years से भी ज़्यादा, लेकिन अब वो libraries बना रहे हैं जो कि आप use कर सकते हैं, and that is also going to help you. You can also go forward towards research scientist. आप बन सकते हैं, आपने labs है कहीं, data always available है, you can do that. And you can also be a business intelligence developer. But start with also with Google AI, and like natural language processing, they have NLP. You can start with that. And you can also have a course available on Udacity, which is a machine learning course from Google available. So that also gave you the knowledge about deep learning and around those lines. And MIT also running a program which is all free for you to access, which is about self-driving cars. So if you go to MIT website, start playing around with those smart driving cars stuff they have put it, which is they're testing it. And I look at their website, MIT, and there are like tons of videos and tutorials available. One thing I also want to make sure, and I can give you the real example for AI, is your Facebook chatbot. Chatbot is very these days, if you really want to see the real example every day, आप किसी भी कंपनी के बिजनेस पेज पे जाएंगे, when you put a message in a messenger जो automatically आपको जवाब आते हैं, that's basically coming behind the scene chatbot जो configure किया हुआ है, predefined question, you put your question and comes back with the answer. तो chatbot की बहुत demand है, and chatbot will replace, people say it's not going to replace, but it will replace your first line of customer service, I guess. Hey, I need to buy this, what's the price is there. So every company, IT, non-IT, are using it. You can have an example for any retail shop के आप example ले सकते हैं कि अगर कोई आपकी website पे shopping करने आ रहा है, you can have the chatbot in your website. इसी तरह कोई health की जो website है, आप उस पे chatbot लगा सकते हैं, वो chatbot आपको सारे answer देगा, and based on the top 8-10 आंसर फिर वो आपको redirect कर देगा कि better you call or email. लेकिन आपके जो शुरू के जो है इस तरह आप कर क्या रहे हैं, बेसिकली यू आर इम्प्रूविंग द कस्टमर सर्विस। तो बिजनेस जो जस्टिफिकेशन है, जो बिजनेस एप्लीकेशन है, वो यू आर इम्प्रूविंग द कस्टमर सर्विस इम्प्लीमेंटिंग चैटबॉट। तो चैटबॉट एक एरिया है, बहुत सारी कंपनी ऑलरेडी स्टार्ट कर रही हैं। So these are the different implementation you can do at a very basic level. But again, if you want to go further in machine learning and AI, you can be very creative, as I told you. One of the example मैं आपसे share करूँगा before I hang up. We are pretty much top of the hour. Is about security के अंदर भी बहुत इसकी demand है, और security during COVID-19 and all that is gone up. So companies are putting and investing their money towards how to improve security. और बेसिकली उसकी एग्जांपल ये होती है कि अगर आप कहीं से लॉग इन कर रहे हैं और आपकी अननोन लोकेशन है, तो सिक्योरिटी विल इन्वोक यू टू आस्क यू फॉर मोर क्वेश्चन फॉर वेरिफिकेशन। इसी तरह बैंक के अंदर फ्रॉड बहुत होते हैं, और आपका क्रेडिट अगर आप यूएसए में और ऑटोमेटिकली अगर वो यूज होता है यूरोप में, तो आपको बैंक की तरफ से कॉल आ जाएगी। सो देयर इज एन ऑटोमेटेड सिस्टम डिफाइंड, एंड जहाँ पे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस काम कर रही होती है, नोइंग योर बिहेवियर के आप पिछले 6 महीने से यूएसए में और कार्ड यूज कर रहे हैं, और ऑटोमेटिकली आपका कार्ड किसी आउटसाइड कंट्री में यूज हुआ है या वेबसाइट पे अगर, तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली आपको एआई सिस्टम से थ्रू अलर्ट ट्रिगर होगा, आपको कॉल करेगा। सो देयर आर डिफरेंट एरियाज। बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री में बहुत डिमांड है बिकॉज टू डील विद फ्रॉड्स, और इसके अलावा कस्टमर सर्विस का जैसे बता दिया। हेल्थ इंडस्ट्री में, टैक्स एंड अकाउंटिंग में, जैसे आप आईबीएम वॉटसन का देख लें, तो आईबीएम वॉटसन ने जो टूल बनाया है अकाउंटिंग फर्म्स के लिए, जो कि एवरी ईयर कंपनीज के अकाउंट एंड ऑडिट होती हैं, वो मिलियंस ऑफ फाइल्स या डेटा उनको प्रोसेस करना पड़ता है उनके अकाउंट्स के लोगों को, तो वो उन्होंने सारा ऑटोमेट कर दिया है। वो आईबीएम वॉटसन सारी आपकी फाइल्स करेगा स्कैन। सो इमेजिन अ ह्यूमन अगर एक महीने में या एक दिन में 10 फॉर एग्जांपल डेटा शीट रिव्यू करेगा, फॉर एग्जांपल, बट आईबीएम वॉटसन जो है थाउजेंड्स में कर सकता है। सो दिस इज वेयर द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, जहाँ पे मशीन लर्निंग हो रही है कि वो आपको रिजल्ट स्कैन करके उनका आउटपुट बता देगा, और इसलिए अकाउंटिंग एंड फाइनेंस की टीम में भी इसकी बहुत इम्प्लीमेंटेशन और बिजनेस के सिनेरियो के हिसाब से यूज केस अवेलेबल हैं। सो आई होप इट इज इंफॉर्मेटिव, इफ नॉट लेट मी नो। और आपकी जो स्टार्टिंग मैंने आपको बताया कि फ्रॉम द लैंग्वेज पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, स्टार्ट एक्सप्लोरिंग SQL, स्टार्ट एक्सप्लोरिंग Python, Jupyter, R language is another one. Career path, you can take any Google, Microsoft, or AWS, and then you can start with their role-based certification, and which will guide you step by step. And always take some basic cloud fundamental knowledge, cloud architecture knowledge. You need to know what is the means of Hadoop, big data, data lake, clusters. You need to know all this stuff. You need to understand कि किस तरीके से है. So that being said, thank you everyone. I'll be putting more stuff in this topic, and next week we are talking about cybersecurity. So let me know, and I'll be putting more topics around that. Thank you, and bye.